Hi, it's Karen and
Oh, I'm sorry. Bluto, you look different.
here for Karen and Bluto's Not Another Review channel with another movie review. What do you mean I look different?
Your hair isn't silver and shiny.
Yeah, I got it taken care of last weekend. That's why it's actually down and...
It looks way better.
Oh, thanks. You're saying I look like crap before. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm not even in my scrubs. I slopped on myself during lunch today, so... Alrighty.
That's good to know. Let's go. Awesome movie.
So, our first movie... Well, you guys know we film in bunches. So, the first one we're going to go over with you, review tonight, is Barb Wire from 1995, rated R. It's an hour and 40 minutes. I'm sorry, allergies are still bothering me. Just going to dive right in.
Good movie.
So basically, it starts out with this little blurb at the beginning that it's in this place called Steel Harbor, and it's 2017. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was 2017 the way it was in this movie, we all would have been screwed. Let's put it that way. So basically, Steel Harbor, like something happened with the United States, basically, where it's like taken over. It's run by some person, I don't know, or people. And Steel Harbor is the only free area in the country. So we have this wonderful opening that this one loved with our main character played by Pamela Anderson Lee.
Good way to start a movie. Get your attention.
She's
Draw you
basically dancing and stripping at some club.
Hey, why not?
And they're hosing her off while she's swinging around and she's letting everything hang out. So,
good, right?
If you want to see that, I mean, I said honestly, with her outfits, they would have been stupid not to do what they did as far as her outfits go in this movie with the body she had then.
Good thing this ain't PG-13.
Yeah. So, basically, there's guys, you know, whistling. This one guy's basically heckling her in the audience. Like, yeah, take it all off, take it off. And he calls her babe. The thing is, you don't call Barb babe. She doesn't like that. So basically, she has her high heels off at one point. She gets down on the ground, kind of looking at the guy, throws the high heel, and I'm guessing kills him because it, like, pokes him in the head and he falls over. So...
You don't like being called babe, huh?
Not really.
Good to know.
I'm not going to kill anybody, but... So basically what it is she's basically some sort of... I don't know if I want to say bounty hunter. She just does these various jobs to basically get money. And so what it is, she's at this club to rescue some random girl that's in a freezer, I think, because she was a young girl, and there was the owner of the strip club was talking to this other guy, telling him, yeah, I got a real young one, real fresh one. So it sounds a little like human trafficking or something going on. Who would have known that they would have picked 1995 pick up something that's a big time issue nowadays? But
well, it's 2017.
Yeah, but still,
maybe they knew.
Maybe they knew. I mean, not that it didn't happen back then, but it's very... It's more talked about now, I guess is the best way to say it. So,
you pay attention more than I do.
Well, I kind of deal with it with work a little bit as well. So, no, I don't traffic people, but it's something I have been trained on dealing.
I thought you
dealing with anybody who's a victim of it. So,
okay,
good times. Good times. What I do for a living.
Moving on.
So, anywho, she basically gets this girl rescued. There's a Batman reference because she does like a little thing like Batman would do, like shooting and flying down. I can't even talk tonight. I can't talk. I can't calculate today.
That's okay.
Friday.
I will help you because I'm smart too.
So, she basically eventually gets this girl back to her parents, and they're like, "Oh, we can only come up with half the money," and she goes, okay, we can work something out. So she leaves them stranded and takes her car and the money. So
or she was going to give them half their daughter.
Or yeah, she said, well, I guess I can give you half your daughter.
Sorry, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was quite comical. I didn't write it down, but
I remember it.
Next thing, they go to the White House, which is all like destroyed and everything. And I didn't write down some of the characters' names. I apologize. The one main villain is like torturing some woman about where this doctor was that they didn't want to escape that escaped and everything. And she discloses, well, she's with this freedom fighter named Axel. I have the doctor's name written down later. I do know that. And actually, what's funny is the character who plays the doctor, Victoria Drowell, I think her last name is. I saw her on there. I'm like, oh my God, because I used to watch Young and the Restless, and she played Drusilla on there. So I was like, oh well.
Don't know that.
Yep, I did. Well, she was on Diagnosis Murder too.
They play with your hair.
Yeah, I'm just not used to it being down and in my way, and my nose is itchy. So we cut away to this Hammerhead Club that caters to all types. And basically what it comes down to is Barb Wire runs this club. So she kind of does these, other like rescues and bounty hunting to kind of help finance her club.
Yep.
Is what it comes down to. And we meet her brother, Charlie, who apparently is a big-time alcoholic as well. But it's kind of explained. It's kind of understandable later once you find out something about him. FYI, spoilers. I don't think I've been saying it because I've been posting it at the beginning of the videos. But
yeah, I can read.
Somehow she finds out about the doctor that was trying to escape and everything. Well, at one point she... her one waiter, and I forgot to write his name down. I love the character though.
The bald guy.
Yeah, the bald guy. I don't know what it was with him. He was just
funny.
He was a cool character. But he was saying like, do you want to discuss payroll? And she's like, no, I have to go out and take care of it. So she leaves in this skimpy ass outfit. And she's standing on the corner, and this guy comes walking by. He's holding a bag, and she's like, you looking for some company, buddy, or whatever? And he goes, well, how do I know you're clean? Well, here she pulls out this license. It's basically a license for prostitution. And she was like, well, I just got checked yesterday or something.
That part? I think it's funny.
It was funny because I'm just like, she's doing that. I'm like, what the hell, did they legalize prostitution? And that's basically what it was.
They should.
So she
actually, right here.
Yeah. She goes home with this guy, his apartment.
Oh.
And there's these two random guys like sitting in the lobby that are kind of looking as they go by. And
well, I'd look too.
He's kind of like, yeah, the guy that she's going with is like, yeah, I'm naughty. I want it rough, basically. I mean, it's just so funny because this guy, you're looking like, really, dude? So they basically go up to the apartment. And like she takes off her coat and has this pretty much leather and fishnet outfit on. And then she has like her bag where she's pulling out all these contraptions. And she said about him slipping into something more comfortable. And he goes, no, I'm going to go slip into something more uncomfortable. So he goes to the bathroom to change, and she starts...
he changed pretty quick.
She starts pulling all this high-tech stuff out of her purse. And it's looking at the apartment next door, and there's this guy there, which at first you're kind of like, what the heck's going on with this? And meanwhile, I was figuring out, I'm like, okay, I guess she wants him for some reason. So the dude comes out from the bathroom, and I don't know if he had sort of like a rubber suit on or something, and he comes out with a paddle, and she's like, did you wash your hands? He goes, no, I've been naughty, I need something along those lines. So he turns around to get paddled, and she knocks him out. The paddle actually breaks in half over his head, which was pretty comical. So then she ends up breaking the wall in between the apartments. The two dudes from downstairs come running upstairs. Gunfight, everything else. Big shootout. Eventually, she takes care of the other dudes, gets the guy that she wanted. He was wanted basically for bail jumping. And she goes and takes him to this bail bonds place and gets $20,000 Canadian or something, because she wants Canadian money because she's planning on trying to leave the United States. So
sounds good.
She gets back to the club afterwards, and all of a sudden the cops show up and they start doing retinal scanning on her patrons that are there. And this is where we meet Chief Willis, who you think he's a real jackass, but actually like his character. I mean, he's a real jerk initially, but
he's cool.
Yeah, he keeps...
I like characters who are like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I need to make a little extra money and all that tonight. So basically, he asked for a bribe from Barb to basically, well, I don't have to scan anybody else then tonight. Yeah, and apparently, he's a big alcoholic too or something. So he goes on to... Oh, no, he comes back the next day. And he gets saying he's like more in appropriate police attire, and she's like, what the hell's with the monkey suit, basically? And he's like, oh, we're getting some guests from Washington, and I'm gonna bring them by, so I expect you to be polite with them and treat,
It looked nice.
yeah. And she's like, okay, whatever. Well, she had a dog in this movie, is a Rottweiler named Camille. But yeah, this one dude comes walking in like drunk and is like ordering everybody around, starts breaking things, and she goes, Camille, package check. She goes over and bites the guys and his nuts in the package, and then she prompts her to escort him outside. It's just like this dog is just very, very well trained. So somehow in the middle of all this, they're discussing about these contact lenses that they're looking for.
That's part of the plot.
Because with this,
So pay attention.
with the doctor, they're like, she changed her identity, but if she has these contact lenses in, we're not going to be able to find her. But basically what they do with the retinal scans is it scans, like the one dude, when they were doing them earlier, he had a fake ID, and they took the ID and they scanned him with something else, and he was wanted for something. So they took them. So basically at this point in time in history or whatever, they can do retinal scans, which we kind of can do now.
Really?
Yeah, there's some things they can do.
Wow.
With that. So
your species is pretty high tech.
But these contacts basically change the person's identity. So the group comes from DC to the club, and I think they're called the Congregation. I think is how the Congressional. That's what they refer to them as.
I don't remember.
Here at the same point, our doctor friend and Axel show up at the club because Axel is trying to get Barb to help him get himself and the doctor safely out. We learned kind of a little bit, because at first when I was watching this, I thought it was regarding the contact lenses, but there's actually a little bit of a sub-story underneath that they only mention once.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so because that's what he mentioned whenever the one part came up later, which I'm not going to go into right now.
I saw it a few times.
And he was like, oh, wait, it was that, not the contact lenses, but it's just the contact lenses can be used
Me and my buds
to
watched this when it
escape.
first came out.
So initially Axel goes and talks to Charlie, and what happens with Charlie's drinking problem, they were talking a couple times about the Second Civil War. And apparently Axel, Charlie, and Barb were all fighting it at one point when this went on, and Charlie was blinded by a grenade or something. So hence kind of why he drinks a lot. But and this was back in Seattle or something.
It's understandable.
So Axel's kind of asking about talking to Barb, and Charlie's like, I don't think it would be a good idea. She's retired. She's not doing this stuff. Well,
he's doing other things.
Barb actually is meeting with the group from DC briefly, and eventually she gets up, sees Axel there, and basically punches him and is like, screw you, asshole. You broke my heart. Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Oh.
So Axel and the doctor eventually leave the club because they see that the congregation from DC is there. And once they get outside, Charlie's sitting outside, and he goes, I can help you. And he basically directs them to a resistance group that's operating in Seal Harbor at this time. So
I follow you.
So basically, eventually, yeah. The resistance, they eventually go to where the resistance are at, and the resistance are happy they found the doctor. She's okay, and I guess they're going to plan on trying to get her out of the country, basically. And in the middle of all this, we have Barb with this flashback to the war, and her and some other guys, they were supposed to be leaving, but she kept saying, no, wait, he's coming, and somebody said no. Somebody eventually comes in, he said, no, Axel said to leave, just go, and he stayed behind. They don't really elaborate too much more on that.
She looked good for fighting in a war.
Yeah.
Her makeup was all good, her hair was nice,
well, in the middle of all this, the gentleman that she got out of the apartment building also had a pair of these contacts. And here there was like a $1 million bounty on his head. And somewhere in the middle of all this, he was found dead.
Yeah,
and
right?
Yeah. The guy from the apartment, I can't remember his name, but and the contacts are missing. So the bail guy, Clint Howard's character, I can't remember his name. ends up showing up at Barb's bar, Barb's bar, at the bar. And he's telling Barb, he goes, I have these contacts. I know if the Congressional gets a hold of them, they're going to kill me. You know, he's trying to basically give them to her to bribe safety from her. And she's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Get out of here.
Bye.
So Clint Howard's character goes further in the kitchen, and you see Charlie up above sitting there drinking. Well, he hides the contacts under the sink and leaves. But Charlie hears them and knows something's going on.
Yep.
So eventually the Congressional from D.C. finds out that they had the one guy at the bail bonds place. So they go in, shoot up the place, and basically kill the other 3 guys that are there. So one head villain, like I said, I totally forgot to write his name down, is like, all right, grab one of them that doesn't have a head wound. And basically they have this way of connecting them, putting them in ice water, electrocuting them, and they can get his memories.
Can he do that now?
Not that I know of, but who knows?
Oh, I can. He's the dude from Life Force, right?
So if you say so, I only saw Life Force once. So basically they're going through the guy's memories, and here one of them comes up of Barb from when she dropped the guy off.
Yeah, I probably have.
So the Congressional, the head guy, is like thinking, okay, she's lying to us and everything. So eventually then we go, Barb's in her bathtub, I think, and Axel shows up again. He's trying to convince her to help.
So she's in the bubble bath.
Yeah, that's when she's in the bubble bath, and here they're going back up to her office, sharing a kiss, and the doctor's up there like, did I interrupt something? And here it comes down that Axel is married to the doctor, even though they're saying it's just on paper.
Why not?
I can't remember the whole quip with that, but basically this is when the doctor discloses why the Congregation wants her so bad, and it's because they were doing something with the AIDS. With AIDS.
The HIV outbreak.
Yeah, and they were saying, did you hear about the outbreak in Topeka? And they were like, well, what they did was they modified the AIDS virus. That's the word I was looking for, virus. And it's at the point that it can kill somebody in like 12 hours or something. Like they advanced it so much it's almost like instant death. And I guess something like, I don't know if she knew the cure or something like that, because they were talking about that earlier, but she was trying to get out of the country so she could testify and bring in other countries basically to stop this from happening. And that's kind of why the Congregation wants, or Congressional wants her back.
Congregation or Congressional?
Yeah, whatever.
Which one?
Congregation.
Oh.
So in the middle of all this, while Axel and the doctor are up in Barb's office, the Congressional shows up. I was almost a congregation again. Congressional shows up. Basically, at this point, Barb agrees to help Axel and the doctor escape. So she says, wait up here and come down in 5 minutes. So basically, she goes downstairs, asks...
That's probably when they show her naked, right?
Well, I think they showed her naked before that. But Chief Willis is also with the Congressional at this point. Well, she has a robe on or something. And they're like, if you're lying to us, we're going to fine. You know, we think you're hiding stuff. And she's like, I'm not hiding anything. And they're like, well, we have a warrant to search. And the Congress basically starts destroying the bar. And you're thinking, and Charlie's sitting there as well.
He's hiding.
And initially he's sitting at the bar before Barb comes downstairs.
He sits on the bench.
And they were going to do a retinal scan on him, and they pulled up his sunglasses. And Chief Willis is like, he has no eyes. What the hell are you doing? So they kind of leave him alone. Well, eventually, while this is all going on, Charlie slides under the bar and hides while they're destroying the place. Well, then Axel and the doctor come down the stairs, and Barb's just prompting them to like, hey, go out the back door. And she's just trying to get them out of there because they don't realize the doctor's who she is because she changed her
that was funny. I just saw
her stuff. And well, they're getting ready to do a retinal scan on the doctor. And of course, everyone's like, oh shit at this point. Well, Charlie's sitting at the bar playing with something that messes with the scanner. And they're basically like, whatever, just get out of here. What did you think of that was funny?
I thought it was something that she could have in her back door.
What?
It's a joke. You said about the back door.
Yeah.
I said about I have something.
I wanted to see if you were going to be perverted and say it.
I want to say it on your channel. Some kids might be watching.
Yeah. So basically it comes down, they destroy the whole place, can't find the contacts, can't find any evidence. So after they leave, Charlie's sitting there, and what happened was Charlie found where the contacts were and had them on him the whole time.
As if you didn't know. Well,
Yeah.
I knew you didn't.
I was kind of like, I don't know, because I was... So, because he heard when they were being hidden, so he went and grabbed them and kept them.
What?
Basically, Barb grabs them then off of Charlie and says she wants to sell them so they can get out of the country. And he's like, and Charlie wants him to do the right thing. So he's still kind of with the resistance and everything with this.
I mean, just
so Barb leaves and goes to talk to Big Fatso.
He's funny.
To try to sell the contacts.
I like when he shows up.
Like I said, he literally lives up to his name.
I like how he shows up.
So she basically negotiates a price, with safe passage to the airport to get her and Charlie out of the country. Well, in the meantime, Charlie goes to where the resistance is. And due to the fact he can't see, he doesn't know everyone is dead. Even though Spike, who was the main leader, didn't play a very good dead person because you can see her eyes flickering. So basically at this point, Charlie gets captured.
She was funny in Leatherface 3.
And, okay, I put on here about Barb negotiating. So with Charlie, they're torturing him, trying to find out where the contacts are at. He says about who has them. I don't remember who he said.
Santa Claus.
I thought he said Big Fatso did have them or something. I don't remember.
He said he wears a red outfit and a red beard.
Yeah.
Saint Nick.
Yeah. So, and then they eventually do kill Charlie, which is sad. So
yeah, she was good acting at that part.
Yeah. We're not at that part yet.
That's why I don't review these, because I jump before I
Yeah, you do.
I'd have this review done in like 2 minutes.
So Barb goes back to the bar. Basically, the waiter is there like cleaning up the place and everything. And she basically tells him that her and Charlie are leaving. The bar is his. And then she's like, where is Charlie? And I don't know. I can't remember how they found out. Somebody said, he went to go see somebody named Spike.
What are you talking about?
Well, no, because he was asked. Remember, she's asking where Charlie is.
Yeah, she asked that bald dude.
Yeah, and he goes, somebody
went to see Spike.
And Barb knows who this is, so she's like, oh shit. So she goes. She has this decked out vehicle, like
that's cool.
Mad Max.
Well, like Dead Reckoning almost.
Yeah. So they go to where the resistance is. They do eventually find Charlie dead.
And she cries.
And she does cry, but her makeup doesn't run. So eventually, Barb's kind of mourning with Charlie. Axel and the doctor show up, and Barb's like, okay, I'm going to help you get out of here.
Revenge.
So basically, they open her truck, which is like armor and weapons out the wazoo. And the truck has a bunch of tricks in it as well. So, she was saying about them heading to the unoccupied zone and about needing to pay the toll. So then Big Fatso shows up with his crew, and they, basically they were supposed to give her cash, and he put $750,000 on this gold debit card. And he said, you'll get the other $250. But then here it turns out that he double-crossed Barb and sold them out to the Congressional,
obviously,
because he was going to be able to collect the $1 million bounty that was on the doctor, the $1 million bounty that was placed.
$1 million body?
Yeah, bounty that was placed on Barb, and still keep the $750,000 plus get to keep the contacts.
I want to see that.
So, basically at this time, Willis kind of shifts who he's with, basically, even though I think all along he really didn't like what the Congressional was doing. So he goes behind Barb and like acting like he's arresting them, and he leans forward. He goes, I want you to know I had nothing to do with what happened to Charlie. I was not involved. And he sticks a grenade in her hand.
That was funny.
And he doesn't handcuff her. And then he moves over to the doctor. All of a sudden she pulls the grenade, takes the pin out and holds it up. Well, everyone's like, oh shit. Well, then she takes it and throws it at Big Fatso, who has the contacts at this moment. He goes boom.
That's what you would do.
Yeah.
You pull the pin on that
Yeah, I have no more fatso. So basically,
No
at
more
this point,
fatso.
there's the big because I get back in the armored car thing that Barb has. So we have a big, chase, shoot up stuff and everything.
Big.
I have on here that eventually she gets on, leaves the vehicle on our bike and blows up some more stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember read my handwriting here. Well, then
Let's just wrap it up. Get to the
it's just so funny. It's like Barb at one point is like shooting this gun and balancing perfectly on her bike, which a
I
little
tell you
far
what, that was pretty good stunt woman on
face,
that bike.
pretty far fetched. Eventually, they wreck her vehicle, and Barb catches up with him and tells Willis to get Axel and the doctor to the plane, and she'll meet them there. Well, as they're going, though, Axel stays behind and tells Willis to get the doctor to the plane because it's more important she escapes than him. So Axel ends up staying behind. He eventually climbs up on this huge crane. There's big fights going on in that. Barb is looking for the bad guy. And he comes out of a garage with a forklift and kind of traps her on there because he picks her up on her bike and gets her leg trapped. So there's like all this kind trapped.
Okay. Sorry, I think you said it wrong.
I probably did. So I said fighting on the crane.
Yeah, I get
so
that part.
eventually, Axel gets up to the crane. He's talking to the crane operator and goes, what does this lever do? What does this lever do? And then he knocks the guy out after the guy tells him how to run it. So then Axel takes the crane and picks up the forklift with Barb and the bad guy on it. And they're all over the place. Those two are fighting on the crane. And eventually,
here's the fun part.
Barb climbs up, grabs onto the hook, and gets it to release, so the bad guy is on the crane and falls and goes boom.
Why?
Why what? He blew up.
Because he called her babe.
Oh, that's right. He called her.
You forgot to mention that.
I forgot. He called her babe, so that just pissed her off.
That was funny.
I didn't write it.
Well, I remember it.
Oh, yeah, I did. Called babe. Release his hook. So then we get a cutaway to Willis and the doctor at the airport waiting. There's retinal scans, so they're holding off like, okay, where's Axel and Barb? Well, Axel and Barb eventually show. Barb turns around and she takes the contacts out of her eyes.
Well, sure you put that. You're going to shut the computer off.
Oh, yeah. So Big Fatso never had the contacts because Barb had them all along inserted. So
you didn't know that either.
No, I was kind of like, I kind of figured something had to go down with that. So she gives them to the doctor. The doctor puts them in, goes to the retinal scan, and it says that they're both approved. This person is like safe to travel. I can't remember exactly what it says, but it gives her basically, I want to say like asylum. So her and Axel eventually leave on the plane. Barb and Willis are discussing. He's like, well, what are you going to do now? And she pulls the debit card out and she goes, I don't know. I hear Paris is lovely this time of year. So somehow in the middle of all this, she ended up with the debit card as well. And then basically it ends with Barb walking away and Willis saying he's in love. And she stops and turns around and tells him to get in line. And that's it. Honestly,
it was good.
Like this movie a lot more than I thought I would. I mean,
told you.
I think part of it is I went in with very low expectations.
But it was good.
But it was decent. I mean, it kept my attention for the time it was going. And, it was
things about this.
It was funny,
There's two things I like about it the most.
Boob 1 and boob 2.
Well, on the other end.
Oh. Tits and ass.
I like both of them, too, because I don't discriminate between the right one and the left one.
Men. So like I said, if you're just looking for a cheap laugh, over-the-top action movie, even though I think
it's like an 80s action movie.
Yeah, I mean it's good for that. Like if you're just looking for something good. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it.
Hey, you want some nice boobs?
What about my nice boobs?
Okay, I don't know if I should do that. That's bad.
Oh, now he's being modest.
Sorry, I don't see you like that.
Like I said, it's a goofy movie. Not high, don't have high expectations. I would watch it again just because it is enjoyable. And I'm having the hiccups. So that is it. Unless Bluto has anything else he wants to add.
I want to see a sequel. No remakes.
I don't know because she doesn't look that good now.
I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I mean that movie was done 24 years ago.
I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Yeah, so
but it was good.
I can't remember the last time I saw it, but I didn't think she looked that great now. But anyways, some of us age better than others.
Like me.
Yeah. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, bell icon so you know when we post new content, share the page. I don't know why I got an accent when I said that.
I thought you were going to say shutter the page.
I just got a little bit of an accent for some reason.
Okay.
Share the page. We would greatly appreciate it.
Too.
Amazon wish list is posted. So
I'll go eat some meatballs.
No, I'm not even Italian.
Good for me.
So if you want to help us out with any movies, if there's something you want us to review and are willing to get it for us, I will add it. So I think that's it. Check out my other channel, K-Dog Games, Toys, and More. A little bit more kid-friendly over there. I don't swear, unfortunately. No, actually, a few times I have sworn I've had to edit. But anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.